Monday, April 26th. Beautiful outside, but very, very windy. Look at this sky. Winds gusting over 45 here. Otherwise, I'd get out and do a video because it's dang nice outside. Got the load off in Minnesota Monday morning, about 12:30. So I sat there Saturday night, all day Sunday, till Monday morning. My scheduled time was 5:30 Monday. It's just sometimes you hope they get you early, and in this case, they did not. Well, 4 hours early. I got the load off and blasted down here to DeWitt, Iowa. And I'm supposed to go back to Minnesota, not to Owatonna, to Albertsville, Minnesota. And that place can kind of suck. You have to come around the building, try to square up, and then back into a bay, and then you back way back in the building. And it's another one that has the yellow stripe paint on the ground, so you just put your trailer on it, right on in there. It don't deliver till 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Went and got my bill of lading after I received a message that my load was ready. And I've got a rip in the top of the tarp. And the end cap's actually sticking out. And I'm supposed to run into rain up in Albertville. So I went and talked to the Maverick guys. And I'd already called my fleet manager because I found some rust holes in the frame up front. And these are old trailers now. These are old trailers. Been on the road a long time. And they're getting weeded out for that very reason right there. And the new trailers, the new DAs and DGs that I haven't found anybody that's fond of yet are taking their place. But he called me back and said, yeah, that's going to have to be transloaded because that was dropped for a tarp replacement. But the driver never put red tape around the glad hands, or he never put a red tag on it. So by him not doing his simple little task, look what happens, to the next guy. Me, stuck. I could have been down the road. Yeah, I could have been on down the road. Now the frame cracks, on the other hand, that was a Maverick call thing. They may have had me take that to Minnesota and then take it down to a trailer repair shop to get it further evaluated. It was not nearly as bad as some of them I had, but it's there. And it probably could have rolled like that, but it wasn't a huge deal at all. But I just want it documented, and I want to make sure I get a Maverick blessing on towing that trailer. But they decided the trailer's down for the tarp anyway, so get it transloaded, loaded to another trailer. So here I sit. Can't wait to go home. I'm ready for a break. I've been out 5 weeks, so I'm tired. I'm ready. I ran hard. I haven't even looked at PFP. I looked the other day. I think I was number 3, but then I set for 2 more days. So then I'm going to go home and set. I would have ran this load the way it is if I'd have been somebody else. I mean, there's guys that don't care. They just get it and go. But when you got a hole in the top of the tarp and you can see the end cap, your glass is going to get wet. It's just going to happen. And they come out, they were going to repair it, but the other issue kind of held up. So here we sit, and hopefully we can get rolling before very long here. I'd rather them just get me on another load than sit here. The last time I did transload, it was 6 hours. So, I mean, worst comes to worst, they don't get it loaded tonight, and at some point I get it and I leave out early in the morning. It's only 6 hours and 54 minutes up there. So I could literally roll from here to there. So it's not a huge deal. I don't deliver till 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So it's not a massive big deal at this point. I just don't like sitting because other people don't care. I mean, the rust hole in this frame, remember, didn't happen overnight. We don't have rust termites over here in Iowa. And the tears in the tarp, it was dropped for a tarp, but you got to tape the glad hands off, or you got to put a red tag on it. Maverick knew about it, but the loaders didn't. So, I mean, the chain of command, that's a flow of information thing, And somebody gets stuck with it at the end. That somebody happened to be me. Well, I'm in somewhere. Don't even know where I'm at. Evansdale, Iowa. Pilot Flying J. Didn't want to stop here really, but I was out of fuel, and I was out of time. Sit there, wait on that trailer so long. I could have probably made it up there tonight. I'd rather been there and sit and wait for them to go ahead and call me in than drive from here to there, start my clock, and try to make it back to DeWitt, because it's going to be close on my 11-hour drive clock. This trailer I picked up, it's not a whole lot better than the other one I dropped off. And when I get ready to get rid of this trailer, I'll note everything that's on it. It's got small holes in the tarp there's just too many to patch. It's missing 13 D-rings. The front seam is coming out of it. I'll show you. All right, double drop trailer. I got a lot of extra material because I only got 6 doses of glass on here, but they're fairly thick. But you can see all these holes up through there. Don't sound like a big deal, but water can get through there and get on the glass, and they don't put plastic on the glass here, so it is real hard to pull this 185-pound tarp forward. Of course, each time you pull it, it gets lighter and gets easier. Up there, the seam is coming out of it. It's ripping open. And then I got D-rings missing pretty much all over it. It's not like they didn't know the D-rings were missing, because on the front they tied rope on there where the D-rings were supposed to be, which is not the way you do it. See, there's a D-ring there, D-ring up here. I counted 13 total, and you can see what they did. They tied little loops of rope there, here, down here. So it ain't like somebody didn't know about it. They're just too lazy to do anything about it. So I'll do something about it. I will make sure it's noted that this tarp also needs replaced. See, it's coming apart here too. And that's the biggest reason for covering this stuff with plastic, is if you get a hole in the tarp going down the road and it's raining, it'll keep the glass dry. But can't convince them to do that. Don't know why, just can't. Still windy here today, still breezy. It was really blowing earlier. It's kind of calming down. But you can see here how much extra material I got, because I just don't have a lot of glass on here. I only got 6 totes, but it's thick stuff. The back zipper, it's not even, it's just straight up and down. This one's straight up and down. I just got all this extra material. It'll stay dry. That's the most important thing. It'll stay dry. And I guess I'll roll out of here tomorrow and roll straight to my delivery. It's a filthy tarp, needs rained on. But you can see all the patches up through there where they've just patched and patched and patched this tarp. It's starting to come apart way up there. This dog's had its day. They'll probably take this tarp, send it out. See how this is all ripped out here? They'll probably condemn this tarp just because it's just dry rotting. But that ain't my call, so they'll figure it out, or they won't. Trucks did good. It's a little dirty. Do what I always do at night when the summertime or when it's warm. It's 80 degrees out here, and I can still feel the heat, but I pop the hood open for about an hour and let the heat out of the engine compartment, and my air conditioner doesn't work as hard. So when it ain't working as hard, I don't use as much battery and I don't have to idle. But it's time to close it down and go to bed, because I've got an early wake up. I'm going to sit here and figure out my time, because I only got about 3 hours and 45 minutes and don't deliver till 5 tomorrow afternoon. And I don't really want to start my clock if they don't take me early, or won't take me early. I don't want to start my clock. I want to start my clock and arrive there at about 4:30, not 1:30 or noon. So we're going to sit here, we're going to do a little thinking about what time we're going to roll out. Had I not had this broken trailer, I could have made it there tonight. But that's all I got for now. We'll talk.